I've got to tell you, when Gerald first contacted me, I've stopped counting the weeks. It's maybe 6 or 7 weeks ago. I'm worried that he's got diabetes. I never thought that it could be such a long journey. I honestly didn't foresee um, the whole saga would unfold slowly but slowly, and it would be like dealing with an onion and peeling away the layers of the onion, and just it was a waiting game. It required patience. It required a good bedside manner. It required sensitivity, but mainly patience and a breakthrough. We made a breakthrough with Gerald, and this is a nice follow up. Gerald actually saw his doctor. He actually saw a doctor 2 days ago. Spoke to him yesterday. He saw his GP the day before. Funnily enough, the doctor actually got quite excited because this particular doctor has a special interest in diabetes. I think he's doing maybe some kind of a postgraduate type of qualification in diabetic care or management, or maybe he's doing a dissertation, a research project, something on diabetes. Very clever, because diabetes is one of the most common things. Half the world might have diabetes. So, what are your bread, the bread and butter of the GP's practice? The captain of the medical ship. Diabetes, high blood pressure, and in South Africa, the tuberculosis and HIV/AIDS. What else? Anyway, COVID-19 is up and down because it's not continuous. But I think COVID-19 is going to just stay with us forever. But that's another story. You're not going to go into that now. So, Gerald had some blood tests. Definitely diabetic. The doctor has prescribed 500 milligrams of metformin twice a day. Now, maybe I misunderstood Gerald. He said he's on 1,000 milligrams of metformin. I don't know whether he meant 1,000 milligrams in the morning and 1,000 milligrams later on in the day, or 500. Need to clear that up. I would guess 1,000 because I'm marginally diabetic. I'm only just diabetic, and I'm on 500 milligrams of metformin once a day. So fantastic news. Gerald has to go back for more tests because for some reason, don't ask me why, they didn't do all the other blood tests at the same time. I don't understand why they didn't just do all the blood tests at once. You're still got to do the blood cholesterol levels and all the other tests. You got your kidney function, your liver function. Because he's 45, you got to have your PSA or something, for the prostate gland. Looking for an enzyme. I forgot what it's called. PSA. PSA, something like that. So nowadays that's what they do. They first do the blood test, see if there's anything, and then they might investigate further with the prostate. I don't know about the stool sample. He never said anything about the stool sample. So, wonderful news. Isn't that fantastic? And you may have thought I was just going to forget about it. A lot of people forget. They I'll catch up with you. How are you doing? I'll catch up. We must do coffee. Tell me how get back to me. Tell me how you're doing. And then never bother. Not on this podcast. On this podcast, I follow up on Gerald. While we're on the topic of health, today is the day for 12-year-olds to have the the vaccination for COVID-19. It's either in South Africa, it's mainly your Pfizer or your Johnson & Johnson. Yes, Johnson & Johnson have taken a lot of hits lately. Well, in the last couple of years, last 1 or 2 years, with the baby powder scandal. Turns out there was like asbestos in the baby powder, and it caused ovarian cancer with tens and thousands of women, and they all suing Johnson & Johnson. Yo. So what is Johnson & Johnson doing? They're taking their baby powder and they're moving it to a new company, another company under a new brand, because they know there's going to be lawsuits for billions of dollars in the next 10, 20 years. So they need to protect the main holding company, Johnson & Johnson. Interesting. But you know what? Their vaccine is good. There's been no problems with their vaccine. So the question is, with your 12-year-old, and so between 12 and 17 years of age, because up to now you could only have the vaccine from the age of 18. So the question is, you've got a 12-year-old child. Do you take them to the vaccine and they miss school or not? No. I think it's a bit irresponsible to miss school. I don't think, look, it depends on what kind of a child you have. I mean, do you have one? If you've got a clever kid, if they miss a day of school, it's no big deal. They catch up. I mean, but if you've got a child like me when I was at school, I'll never forget. Now that I think about it, I didn't want to miss a second of school because I didn't know what the hell was going on most of the time. If I look back, if I think about my school days, my main concern is, do I have my uniform on? Does everything fit? Waking up in the morning, getting to school. That was making sure I'm in the right classroom. We used to get these timetables, these blank timetables. I think we used to get it from CNA or maybe the SPA. And my main focus was to get my timetable right, like what classes to go to. And I remember I kept that timetable in my pocket. And through the year, that timetable got all weathered. But that was my main concern. My focus was, am I in the right classroom? Have I got to school on time? What have I got after school? Is there cricket? Is there soccer? Is my mother actually going to arrive to pick me up? And then I forgot about the importance, like maybe the more important things about the actual work. My main concern was the appearance. I'm there, looking like I know what's going on. Didn't really. So if you've got one of those kids like me, like I was, rather get the vaccine in the afternoon, after school. That's what I say. And if you do have a kid like me, maybe they need to be on Ritalin. Take them to one of these, like a child psychiatrist. Get them on Ritalin. I found Ritalin's the best. Concerta didn't work so well, in my experience. So, if you take your child in the afternoon and you see there's a huge queue. There is a queue. There are 12-year-olds. There's the odd old person who only decided to get the vaccine now, and you can't stand in the queue for hours. Then maybe tomorrow miss school. But don't tell anybody I said so. It's actually against the law. If you are under 16, it's called truancy. Not supposed to miss school. Look, some people are concerned. Is it all right for my 12-year-old to have the vaccine? Look, if the scientists say you can have the vaccine, then have the vaccine. Suddenly you're a vaccine expert. Suddenly you're worried about vaccines. You never questioned other vaccines. Just listen to the experts. Stop questioning. Stop analyzing. That's what I say. If you're on Facebook and Twitter and you believe all this disinformation, all this rubbish about COVID-19 whatever, maybe you shouldn't be on social media. That's my recommendation. Yeah, look, it bothers me. Look, it bothers me with all the stuff that I see on Twitter in particular. I'm not really on Facebook that often. Twitter bothers me because, as I mentioned before, there isn't an option to report somebody, to say this is disinformation. So I've developed a new technique. Somebody tweeted yesterday, I saw the tweet this morning, I've got 2 friends who died soon after having the vaccine, which is absolute crap. Yes, those two friends may have died, but you have no idea what they died of. They may have had some other precipitating condition. And you know somebody who knows somebody who said, who knew. You don't even know you don't actually know the person. People just tweet things, put things on social media, and they actually they're not even sure. So I go and I report this person because I'm irritated. But there's no option to say misleading disinformation. But there is an option for this person is threatening suicide and I think their life is in danger. Boom, reported it. And straight away, they'll get a message. Twitter is aware that you are tweeting things that are claiming self-harm or suicide. Your account has been suspended. Beautiful. I love it. That's what you've got to do. Am I being childish? No. Yes, I. But you know what? Desperate times call for desperate measures. I've had it. I'm at the end of my tether. I'm at the end of my tether with this nonsense. Just get the damn vaccine, man. Ugh. I mean, and quite frankly, I'm getting very tired of going over the same thing over and over again. Sometimes I'm a bit slow on the uptake with certain things. So you heard about the Octopus Teacher. Now, the Octopus Teacher was released in 2020. It won the Oscar for Best Documentary. Or was it the Emmy? Won some big award. It's on Netflix. It's all about a guy who meets an octopus. Literally meets a real octopus, real man. Somewhere in the West, somewhere near Cape Town. He's a snorkeler. He's actually a TV cameraman, producer, editor. That's his history. Wow, what a fantastic movie. I like nature, don't get me wrong. I like lions and I like those, but for some reason I'm not obsessed with actual nature movies or programs or documentaries. You have to have a lot of patience. There isn't always action happening. You've got to really concentrate. So eventually I watched it last night after such a long time. And the cinematography, the visuals, some of the things that that the camera caught and recorded and put on this movie is spectacular. Spectacular, first rate. The actual storyline that this octopus taught this man something about it and gave him attributes that he never had before. Not a very strong aspect of the movie that really appealed to me that much. That didn't really touch me as I think the movie maker wanted it to, and what was the interpretation from a lot of people. Before I was this, I was X and Y, and now the octopus has taught me X, Y, and Z. I don't want to spoil it for you, but he had certain qualities that he lacked as a person or as a man, and he felt through his experience, because he stayed with this octopus for almost a whole year, 326 days or something. The octopus gave him attributes that he had never had before. Brought him closer to his son, anyway, I don't want to spoil it for you. But the reason why it didn't really resonate that strongly with me, that aspect of the movie, was that I thought, you know what, why did you just have those attributes in the first place? What's wrong with you? Okay, I know that makes me sound very critical. Very critical. So there's quite a lot of narration where it's his face on camera, him as if he's being interviewed, but he's not being interviewed. He's just talking to you. And he does come across as a quite interesting, one of those deadpan, expressionless kind of people that maybe don't show their feelings. And then towards the end, right at the end of the movie, he showed a bit of emotion, how he had evolved a little bit. But still, a very strong, hardened kind of character. that maybe wasn't in touch with his feelings and in touch with, I don't know, empathy for nature or the connection with belonging and being part of the ecosystem and part and parcel of being part of the world, so to speak. That was the one of the main messages of the movie. But really, yeah, quite spectacular. And after seeing my one dog Rufus mounting my dog Joey, which was a bit of a National Geographic thing yesterday, this was a lot more advanced. This took the whole nature thing a bit further. This was a real cinematographic work of art, quite frankly. That's what I thought. Okay, so I do follow things going on in America, but you can't get too involved because there's a lot happening. January the 6th, investigations. Congress is investigating what happened on January the 6th. Then there's the bill to the rescue bill to help people. Then there's now there's a climate change thing, which Greta Thunberg is. No, it's not. No. Sorry, Greta Thunberg was talking about it, but Boris Johnson and Bill Gates are going to sign like some £1 trillion special deal to help save the climate. There's a lot of things going on, and this guy has got a subpoena, and a lot of people involved, a lot of characters. So I can't get too involved in it because it's hard to get too caught up in it all because it's America. But something that struck me this morning: Steve Bannon. Remember Steve Bannon? No, not Spider-Man. Steve Bannon was Donald Trump's right-hand man for a short period, for a few months, and quite a surly character, very right-wing, editor of a very right-wing, almost conservative, unpleasant kind of KKK publication called Breitbart. So Steve Bannon is being implicated or accused of being involved in the setup and organizing of the insurrection, the attempted insurrection on January the 6th. So he has been given a congressional subpoena to appear before Congress to testify on what happened on January the 16th. Steve Bannon has now been declared in contempt of that congressional subpoena. Steve Bannon could very well be arrested. Hello. And, this has been going on for over a year, or we're getting closer and closer to Donald Trump. What is happening to Teflon Donald Trump? Teflon Trump. Nothing sticks to Trump in terms of any legal things. Everyone close to Trump, boom, 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 under the guillotine, arrested, on trial, subpoenaed, whatever. Trump hasn't been touched yet. People think Trump was also involved in this January the 6th insurrection attempt. So far, nothing concrete. So everybody's watching this Steve Bannon thing very closely. Will Steve Bannon throw Trump under the bus? And people are excited. Let's call them Democrats. They're excited. Okay, I'll be honest with you. I'm excited as well. So let's see. But I warn you, don't get too excited. Because things don't happen straight away. Look at this. I mean, it's the 20th of October. Trump left office back in January, and he's still shooting his mouth off. He's still saying the election was stolen. That's crazy. But you know who's learned from Trump? You know this deny, deny, deny. Just deny, deny, deny. I laughed. I don't know if I laughed. And former Health Minister Zweli Mkhize, listen to this, said the Special Investigating Unit probe into Digital Vibes contract ended his career as a public servant and jeopardized his standing as a politician. Well, of course it did. You've been implicated in illegal activities. You've been implicated in corruption. Isn't it amazing how Zweli has learned from Donald Trump? Just act innocent. Deny, deny, deny. Even though there was a commission of investigation that has implicated you. Your hand is in the cookie jar. And he's moaning how his career has been jeopardized. Isn't that truly remarkable? Wow. I'm just speechless.